You are watching the multi-awarded Radio Bandido TV on Channel 224 Sky Cable and TV Plus boxes. Simulcast on DZRJ 8:10 a.m. Informing, advising, and entertaining the Filipinos and OFWs around the world. Streaming live on www.facebook.com/DZRJ 8:10 a.m. or on YouTube, channel RJAM News. To all Teleradio Bandido viewers and listeners, you can now watch Teleradio Bandido on our new YouTube channel, RJAM News. Hit the subscribe button and like the video. Don't forget to click the bell icon so you get notified when a new video gets uploaded. Don't miss out on our dynamite lineup. The Observer, Pusong Minero, is a radio program that tackles political, current events, consumerism, and environment issues. It also tackles news and issues on responsible mining, its contribution to our country and communities in terms of social, health, and environment. The Observer, Pusong Minero, hosted by Felix Tambongco, every Saturday from 6 a.m. to 8 a.m. on Teleradio Bandido Channel 224 Sky Cable, TV Plus boxes, free-to-air Channel 29, Facebook.com/DZRJ 8:10 a.m. and on YouTube, RJAM News. Good News Pilipinas with host Francis de Guzman is advocacy in action, which brings to you exclusives to enhance life's values that really matter. This program also brings forth guideposts on scriptural truths, giving hope to nations. Watch and listen on Teleradio Bandido every Sunday from 12 noon to 1 p.m. on Channel 224 Sky Cable, TV Plus boxes, digital free-to-air Channel 29, DZRJ 8:10 a.m., Facebook.com/DZRJ 8:10 a.m., and YouTube channel RJAM News. Watch and tune into Opinyon Mo, Pakinggan Natin. Karapatan mo, irespeto natin.
The views and comments of the hosts and guests are not necessarily those of the station.
Okay, magandang hapon po sa inyong lahat and welcome to Flatten the Fear, no? Salamat po sa DZRJ for giving us this time, no? And so this is Ruby Ang, no? And I'm your only host for today. Iniwanan po ako ng co-host kong si Mr. Francis Abraham. And wala rin akong guest speaker, no? So, pero okay lang yon, no? Marami tayong mapag-uusapan today. And ano ba pag-uusapan natin, no? Flatten the fear. And in line with that, no, meron po akong i-share sa inyo, no. So right now, meron po akong subscription sa YouVersion, no. Alam niyo po ba yung YouVersion? It's a Bible app that you can download for free. And meron po siyang mga devotions dun sa app na yon. So, may mga topics kayo that are close to your heart, regarding marriage or work or family, relationships. So ngayon, ang favorite topic ko is addressing yung fear and anxiety. And so I'm sure for those who were here yesterday, na nakikinig sa amin kahapon ni Francis, meron po kaming guest speaker na who discussed about mental health, si Miss Lou Mandalupe, who is a licensed professional Christian counselor, and so tamang-tama po sa pangalan ng programa natin, which is Flatten the Fear, I would like to address the topic of fear ngayon. I'm sure na hindi lang ako mag-isa na nakakaranas ng fear, ng anxiety dahil po sa nangyayari sa buong mundo, sa buong Pilipinas. And buti na lang, merong salita ng Diyos para makapag-enlighten at makapagbigay ng tamang perspective sa ating lahat. Bale, so like I said, dito sa YouVersion app, meron pong mga devotions where you can subscribe, and minsan may mga devotions that are as long as 1 year, yung iba naman 7 days, yung iba ay 10 days, And so I want to share lang a scripture on fear that will address yung topic of fear and living by faith. Kasi the opposite of fear is faith. Tama po ba? So,
watch and tune into Opinyon Mo, Pakinggan Natin. Karapatan mo, irespeto natin. From 10 p.m. to 11 p.m., Mondays to Fridays. This program tackles opinions from different sectors, not only in the Philippines, but of course from OFWs abroad. The host, Jojo de Metilla, also interacts with public officials and our government on the topic of the day. It also contains public service for all the listeners. Watch and tune in to Teleradio Bandido on Channel 224 Sky Cable, TV Plus boxes, DZRJ 810 AM, Facebook.com/DZRJ 810 AM, and RJAM News.
Okay, magandang hapon po sa inyong lahat, And so welcome to Flatten the Fear, wala akong partner ngayon, wala akong co-host. So it's just gonna be me and you, my dear listener, and I just want to thank you right now, for your time and for choosing to tune in today, So, yung pangalan po ng program natin is Flatten the Fear, and we would like to thank DZRJ for giving us this airtime. And tamang-tama po na yung topic na gusto ko pong i-share sa inyo is about fear, because the spirit of fear is already very prevalent in our midst right now. Lahat po takot lumabas, takot magpa-doktor, takot pumunta sa kung saan-saan. Takot lahat, And though meron tayong lockdown, pandemic daw na nangyayari ngayon, hindi po tayo dinesign ng Panginoon na mabuhay sa takot. Okay? So fear can be real, there are things that are real, that we can be fearful about, things that are very likely to happen. And then meron din mga bagay na imaginary, And so for today, I want to share a perspective, Sandali lang, teka, bubuksan ko lang kasi yung aking Bible app. And I just want to read this verse, no, for you. Because the opposite of fear is faith. And it says, no, dito sa Hebrews 11:6, without faith living within us, it would be impossible to please God. For we come to God in faith, knowing that He is real and that He rewards the faith of those who passionately seek Him. So that is in Hebrews 11, verse 1. Okay? So, anyway, yun po, opposite po ng fear is faith. And what does it mean to live by faith? Okay? So sabi po ng Bible is that faith is the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things not yet seen. Okay? So ano po ba yung faith na sinasabi natin, pinag-uusapan natin, di ba? Yes, maari tayong matakot sa mga bagay na posibleng mangyari. Posibleng mahawa tayo ng sakit. Posible ding maaksidente tayo or mamatayhan ng loved one. No? There are many, or mawalan ng trabaho. There are many things that can push us to fear. And the atmosphere, no, that we're going through, that we have right now, that we're in the middle of, no, is not helping because we are bombarded by messages of fear every single day, cases rising, deaths, whatever, no. Syempre, hindi pa natin na itatanong, no, kung ano po yung basis ng data, pero ayoko na muna pag-usapan yon. But I just want to address this spirit of fear that everybody is facing right now. And yung grupo po namin, ang CDCPH, no, ito pong campaign namin is Flatten the Fear, no. So treat COVID early, and no one needs to die, and let's end the lockdowns, no. So ano po yung mga paraan natin, no, para ma-lift yung fear ng mga tao, no. Hindi na po nagsasabi na hindi totoo ang COVID, hindi naman po yung sinasabi natin. Pero hanggang kailan po ba tayo mabubuhay ng ganito, diba? And so yesterday, while we were discussing, no, me and Francis and our guest speaker, si Miss Lou Mandalupe, who is a mental health counselor, no, ang dami pong mga cases ng mga bata na who are suffering from depression. Okay? So online school, online classes just don't cut it. It's never the same. It's not like, I mean, all of us, no? Nakaranas tayo ng what's it like to go to school, to socialize with your friends, di ba? Makipagdaldalan sa katabi mo, or, magkita yung crush mo, kayo magchika-chika, share secrets, whatever. And, all those things other than listening to your teacher, di ba? Yung social aspect, no, suddenly, nawala ng bigla. Okay? And okay to kapag ikaw ay naturally friendly person. But then how about yung mga wala masyadong friends sa school, and then ngayon, lockdown, mas lalo silang nawalan ng connection sa mga tao. And then, suddenly, yung mga magulang nila na hindi naman sanay mag-homeschool, they put their children in regular school, in traditional school, no? Suddenly, these parents find themselves in a position where they're forced to homeschool their kids, no? And I even mentioned yesterday, no, that there are cases of children na, ang daming mga bata ngayon na naduduling, No, bakit ba? Nagkakaroon sila ng mga, ano ba yung tawag sa pagkaduling? I don't know the English word, no? But I'm sure you know what it means. And basically, it's because of too much gaming and addiction, or too much time on devices. And nasisira po ang mga ang eyesight, no? Actually, ako din, the reason why I'm wearing glasses right now is when I was exposed to the family computer, no, back in the late 80s, super na-addict ako, no, sa computer, and I know what it's like to be addicted to games. It's very addictive, no, and ganun po yung nangyayari. This is how children cope nowadays, no, in the absence of interactions with their classmates, with other adults, no, other than their parents. It's really a sad situation if you think about it. And so personally for me, knowing these things, and kahit naman ako ay walang anak, I'm not a parent, no. Pag iniisip ko yung mga nangyayari sa ibang tao, I can't help but care. I can't help but care and feel anxious for other people, no. I wonder how these kids will grow up, no. These kids who have been locked down for more than a year. Imagine, we're already in May 2021, no? And these kids haven't had school for the longest time. Bago pa tayo nag-lockdown last March, no? Ang daming nangyari, nagkaroon ng nag-erupt si Taal, no? So that so even that, no, marami na rin tayong mga unwanted leaves, no? Before, pag absent or may holiday, yay! Walang pasok, di ba? Sobrang excited ng mga bata, mga estudyante, any excuse not to go to school. Of course, I understand. I've been there, di ba? But nowadays, parang kids, they want to go to school. They want to see their friends. They want to see their teachers. Or do whatever. You know, back to physical classes. But unfortunately, hindi sila makalabas ng bahay. In fact, I was talking to a friend the other day, and so she lives in a condo in Green Hills, and alam nyo ba, yung mga bata, nakakaawa talaga eh. Kumbaga yung thrill nila, no, is, you know, being able to go to a McDonald's drive-thru, you know, because that's where they can go. Dun lang eh. Hindi man sila pwedeng pumasok sa mall. Hindi naman sila pwedeng pumasok sa restaurant, no? And ngayon, parang mga sabi pa nga daw ng guard nila, ang pinaka malakas umorder sa Food Panda or ng mga food deliveries, no? Sino po yung pinaka malakas umorder? Mga bata. Just so that they have an excuse to take the elevator, go to the lobby, pick up their food, and go up. That's it. That's already one of the highlights of their days. So can you imagine growing up, no? You and me, those of us who were born many years ago, no? So imagine, no, you have an entire generation na lockdown, no? And it seems like there's no end in sight. Diba? It seems like walang mga kailan ba tayo matatapos sa lockdown na to? Ano po bang plan? Ano po bang kailangan mangyari? Diba? So far, ang government natin, ang solution po ay lockdown at magpa-vaccine. Okay? So, I'm just wondering, no, for those of us, or for those of you na ayaw magpa-vaccine, no, I'm just wondering, no, ano kaya yung thoughts ninyo if push comes to shove and you'll be forced, no, you're mandated to be vaccinated, no, just like in Israel, no, where 70% of the population has been vaccinated. However, there are places there, no, where you cannot ito yung nakita ko lang naman, no, sa mga sa ibang mga channels, no, on social media, and meron po silang mga area, no, like for example, a public restroom. This is for this restroom can only be used by vaccinated individuals. Kung hindi ka vaccinated, huwag ka dito mag-CR. Or you cannot order in a restaurant if you don't have, if you don't have a vaccine passport. You cannot enter the supermarket if you do not have a vaccine passport. So I'm just wondering how Filipinos feel about this, and I wish I had someone to talk to right now, because I'm just like, um, bouncing around these ideas, and I would like to know your thoughts. So if you're listening right now, it would be nice if you can write your thoughts and put your comments, no, on Facebook and YouTube. So we're currently live naman. So just paste your comments, and at tech, maybe if you can help me, like copy and paste kung may mga questions na dumating, and put it in the chat box. That would be wonderful para meron tayong virtual interaction. Okay? And so once again, you're currently in Flatten the Fear na program, no? And it's me, your host, Ruby Ang from CDCPH. Ano ba ang CDCPH? So for the unacquainted, we are the concerned doctors and citizens of the Philippines. We are advocating for early treatment of COVID and the safe lifting of the lockdowns. Okay? Ariyon. So yes, so si Miss Luisa de la Cruz. Hello, good PM, Miss Ruby. Glad listening from your program, regarding Flatten the Fear. I'm a senior, and lockdown makes us depressed, more stressed, and sad. Please tell the government, especially Secretary Duque, government panel, mag-GCQ, mga 66 years old, makalabas na. Senior lockdown, it's killing us shortly and mentally tortured. Hi, Ma'am Luisa de la Cruz. Ramdam ko po ang hugot ninyo. Ramdam na ramdam ko because my parents are in the same mga magkaka-generation po kayo ng mga magulang ko. And, naiintindihan ko po yung frustration. I remember last year, one of my favorite hotels in Manila reopened for restaurants. And I was so excited to bring my family. I brought my siblings and my mom. And makakapag-buffet kami, enjoy 50% discount, gano'n. No, parang privilege ko po yun, no, as a member of that hotel. And imagine my disappointment na hindi pala pwede yung mother ko because she is above 65 years old. So imagine, we went all the way, that hotel was like 20 kilometers away from where I live. And imagine yung disappointment, no? Yung takam na akong kumain ng seafood at ng kanilang world-class buffet stations, no? And then only to be told you cannot po because of IATF regulation. So ramdam na ramdam ko po yung inyong sentiment, Ma'am Luisa de la Cruz. And naiintindihan ko po yung depression. And sana po, no, nananawagan po kami sa IATF, no, yung mga seniors natin. I agree with you na kailangan po na we need to protect the vulnerable. We really do. But then maybe we can reconsider that this lockdown might be doing more harm than good for everyone. For example, no, we're forced to stay at home or indoors, no. So for some of us, meron tayong garden sa labas, but for many who live in condominiums or in mga compressed living spaces, no, they cannot even use the pool, they cannot even go to the common areas, no. And alam niyo po ba, mga kaibigan, vitamin D, which is one of the essential nutrients, no, vitamins that is needed to fight this coronavirus, ay nakukuha po yan sa araw. Okay? So just in case lang, no, maybe you're like, okay, I already know that, no, but baka hindi rin. So for those na hindi pa alam, do you know that kailangan nating magpa-araw? Kahit 15 minutes a day, magpapa-araw lang tayo. Napakalaking tulong, libreng vitamin D. So my point is, kapag nagla-lockdown po tayo, no, it's very counterintuitive. It's very counter to the science, no, na how we can fight or how we can even build our immune system, no, if we are forced to stay at home, 'di ba? So and ayun, so sabi ng mga introverts, ayaw nila, okay lang sa kanila yung nakakulong sa bahay. Okay, hooray for you. But you know what? For those of us na mga extroverts, like we thrive when we are with other people, we thrive when we are socializing, or kahit na mag-isa kami, basta nasa labas lang, no? Ginaganahan kaming magtrabaho or na-inspire kami, no? Lahat po 'yun nawala sa amin. And kaya napakahirap po, no? It really takes a lot of strength, no, to overcome yung mga very oppressive na measures ng lockdown na to. Now, how it's affecting our psyche, our behaviors, no? Isipin mo, no, like for example, hindi kayo okay ng partner mo, ng asawa mo, 'di ba? Dati natitiis kasi may kanya-kanyang opisina pupuntahan, 'di ba? Kanya-kanyang workplace. Ngayon, you're forced to stay together, 'di ba? Din lalo kayong nagkakainisan, nagkakakiskisan. Syempre you're interacting na 24/7. So imagine the pressure on marriages, on relationships in families. Okay? So ayun po, no? Sa mga nananawagan po ako sa mga leaders natin sa IATF, no? Reconsider po natin, no? Yung mga policies natin, lalo na sa mga seniors, no? Lalo na mga 65 years old and up, no? Kung wala po tayong timeline, no, when to end this lockdown, no, how long pa ba yung natitirang oras nila sa mundo to enjoy their lives, to be with their loved ones, to see their their great grandchildren? Consider nyo po yon, no? I'm sure kayo din po, you are family people, you are parents, you are grandparents, you have loved ones, no? Please try to put yourself, no, in the shoes of other people when you come up with these policies, no, on what you consider to be safe and essential, because we're talking about lives, we're talking about the livelihoods of people, their quality of life, no. Sabi nga sa Bible, and which I also mentioned yesterday, man does not live by bread alone. Okay? Man does not live by bread alone. Ibig sabihin nun, hindi tayo dapat puro survival mode. Okay? Right? So, because I have a background in psychology, I graduated with a degree in psychology, so I am familiar with Abraham Maslow's triangle. Okay? And so at the top of that triangle, no, is self-actualization. Okay? Self-actualization. Yung paghahanap ng tao ng meaning and purpose sa buhay niya. Hindi lang common makakain siya ng 3 beses ng araw, meron siyang damit, meron siyang tirahan, okay na yon. That's just basic. Okay, that's why that's at the bottom of the triangle. But at the top is self-actualization. So, kumbaga, lahat ng tao, meron siyang aspiration to become higher than himself, to become bigger or better, a bigger or better version of himself, no? Whether matanda tayo, bata tayo, lahat ng tayo, we aspire to be more. And so, but with this situation, we are forced just to live, within the basic, but other needs are being neglected, such as emotional needs, psychosocial needs, right? Interacting with people, or being touched, being held, feeling loved, feeling accepted, those basic things. If you are in a loving family and you're in this lockdown, I'm happy for you, no? But for those who are suffering from dysfunctional families, abusive relationships, domestic violence, paano nila makukuha yon, no? Na they're forced to live in their homes with their perpetrators, di ba? So isipin po natin yon. These are the unspoken victims of lockdowns. No one talks about it. We're only talking about cases, ilan yung nahawaan, ilan yung namatay, no? Pero I assure you, there are more casualties, no? Outside of COVID. There are more casualties outside of COVID that we never hear of, such as people committing suicide, no? Or this naalala nyo ba yun, guys, this journalist who locked himself up in his car because inisip niya na wala na siyang isolation facility na pwedeng pasukan. Remember that? I think it was around March, and this guy he locked himself up in his car, and that's really sad. It's really sad. There wasn't anyone to help him, give him water, but actually his car had lots of food. Sabi daw na ang dami daw pagkain yung kotse niya. He was prepared to stay there. But imagine, if he was in a facility, or at least if he was self-quarantining himself at home, and kahit na hindi siya pwedeng lapitan ng mga mahal niya sa buhay, but knowing that someone outside the door is there. So, knowing that someone is trying to care for you, hinahandaan ka ng pagkain, 'di ba? In that alone, ang laking bagay na 'yon, 'di ba? So, that was a really sad real life story, no? And I hope na pag-isipan natin yung mga bagay na to. And let's also find ways, no? Let's also find ways to help others, no? Alam nyo, guys, according to studies po, yung mga tao na nakakahanap sila ng mga causes or charities to be involved with, no? Mas mahaba po yung buhay nila, no? Because they're living at a higher level, no? Nakakatulong sila sa kapwa, and in return, no, it brings more joy to their lives and the sense of purpose, no? It's ang laki ng tulong nun. Ang laking tulong nun para sa tao. And even though napakaraming challenges, no, alam niyo naman na ang dami ko nang napag-usapan today, no? Kahit na marami tayong challenges, mga kaibigan, no? I want you to know that there is a God who cares for each one of us. Okay? And so we have hope in God. And the reason why people commit suicide really is there's no hope. There's no hope, no? And how I wish that people would know in their hearts that meron tayong pag-asa, no? Habang buhay tayo, meron tayong pag-asa dahil kasama natin si God, no? At kailangan talaga meron tayong God sa buhay. And napakalaking tulong, no? Especially when you're battling with fear and anxiety like me, mukha akong masayahing tao, but I'm also battling with anxiety from time to time. And it's actually apparently medyo normal siya because I'm not saying it's okay, but I'm saying it's normal simply because a lot of people have general anxiety disorder. So, and yun, nalaman ko yun when I sought a counselor, no, a couple of years ago. Yun nga, yung guest speaker natin, siya po yung naging counselor ko. So, it really helps, sometimes to be able to open up to someone and discuss or to be honest with ourselves and honest about our feelings, no. Sana lahat merong kaibigan na pwedeng mapagsabihan ng problema na hindi siya huhusgahan or i-judge, di ba? Wouldn't it be wonderful to be surrounded with people like that or to be there for each other? Minsan, ikaw kailangan kita, pero balang araw ako din kailangan mo. So, let's just be there for each other and be kind to other people. Okay. So, meron po tayong comment from Mr. Freddy Oredina. Okay, pilit isinasaksak sa utak na matakot daw sa COVID disease, virus. Okay, destroying the society's family, social value, and culture because of one specific virus. Our faith should not be dependent on one virus. I think only God holds our fate. Not dictated by anyone. We have different paths to go through. Pati loob ng bahay, magmask daw. Mga apo, baka daw makahawa sa seniors. Di pwede magmano, mayakap o mahalikan. Okay. Ramdam din po kita. Like I mentioned kanina guys, no? Yun nga. Ilan na lang po ba yung natitirang oras sa mga seniors or for anyone, di ba? I'm not saying na mas mabilis mauna seniors, whatever. I mean, no one knows kung kailan tayo mawawala sa mundong ito. Who knows, right? Di ba? But, let us, how do I say this? We are meant to be free. The Bible says Jesus came, to set the captives free. Right? Okay, so freedom from what? Freedom from sin, freedom from death, freedom from oppression. However, the thing is, a human nature, napakagandang quote nito, and I credit Attorney Lyman for this quote, which I searched yesterday. This is from H.L. Mencken. The average man does not want to be free. He simply wants to be safe. Okay, think about that, guys. So people just don't care about being free. They just, as long as they're safe, as long as they're comfortable, as long as they have their food, their Netflix, whatever they need, they don't care if their rights are suddenly being taken away from them one by one. No? And so, hi, Dr. Homer Lim. Welcome to the program. And ayun, so as I was saying, people need to be people need to interact with others. That basic need, to be held, to be hugged, kahit a tap on the back or someone to pat your hand or whatever, diba? Tinatanggal po yun. Hello, Doc Homer, how are you? Okay, so for those who are tuning in, we're listening. We're having we're now in Flatten the Fear right now. And thank you, Dr. Homer Lim, for joining me. Ako lang dito yung nagbo-monologue since kanina
Sorry,
pa.
sorry. I knew.
Iniwanan ako ni
Yeah,
Francis.
so I was quite busy, so I did want to join. So now I'm free. Go. So yes, I was listening to your talk on the mental health issues, no, especially yung mga what we do not see and what we do not hear and what is never or almost never been reported, no. So I feel no, kasi a lot of people are not aware talaga of the difficulty. Lalo na just imagine. I mean, just imagine if you were living with a father or a mother who is kumbaga medyo sobrang tapang or sobrang higpit, no? Imagine mo kung before they were able to free themselves kasi they have to go to school, right? So now they don't even have that luxury anymore. So talaga yung the stress that they are
Yes.
enduring every day. People don't realize that. Kaya nga there are so many people who wants to commit suicide. That's very, very true. Talagang maraming gusto mag-commit and a lot of people actually have committed suicide. It's just that hindi na re-report. Kasi Filipinos medyo pagdating sa ganyang klaseng issue, they want to keep it to themselves.
Oo. May stigma pa kasing mga mental
Yes.
health issues
Yes.
no?
So sa lahat ng nakikinig, no, especially those who wants to reach out pero they have no way of reaching out. There are places where you can call them, no, where you can get some help. So meron diyan tinatawag na Mind You. You can search Mind You. So they give sort of a consultation. I think there are also other helplines, no, helplines that give you advice, no. But for those who are not comfortable, and kasi ito yung napapansin din natin sa mga bata, the younger generation, they really don't want to talk. They really clam up. It's hard to get into their minds, into their heart. They want to talk to them. They rarely talk about it. So one of the things that I would do and I would ask them if they are willing is what we call the emotional freedom technique, or what we call the EFT. So they can search online. So sa lahat na nakikita,
EFT.
Oo, EFT. Kung may alam kayong kaibigan or kamag-anak na nag-struggle talaga, so pwede natin i-try yung tinatawag na emotional freedom technique. Ginagawa nila yun. They can do that with themselves. Hindi na nila kailangan ng ibang tao. So all they have to do is they follow, meron yung videos, meron yung mga websites called emotional freedom technique. Tapping lang yan. So nagtatap ka lang while you're saying some things na it's bothering you. Example would be, kunyari, you're feeling sad or you're feeling anxious. So ang first statement would be, even though I'm feeling sad or I'm feeling lonely or anxious, I completely love and accept myself. And then you do some tapping, no? Tapping sa may eyebrows, sa may just below the eyes, sa may nose, sa may chin. These are what we call acupuncture points, and they help relieve you of the stress, the emotion. So it's very easy to do, and I think these are one of the things that really helps yung lahat ng mga may emotional issues, may mental issues. So it really works. It doesn't matter kung 5 years old ka, 10 years old, 20, 50, 70, it will work. It's just a matter of trying to find the right, kumbaga yung right words, which is whatever that comes up. So one of the things that I always tell my patients is, you can do this, what we call emotional freedom technique. Very easy to do. You just, even sa internet, maraming videos yan kung paano gawin. And it's very, very, so you don't need anyone to if you feel na hindi ka handa makipag-usap sa ibang tao. So these are things that they can help you, self-help techniques natin. So and it really helps them. Talagang nakikita ko, and they would say, oh, parang nabawasan yata yung bigat ng dibdib ko or yung anxiety ko. So they just work on it depending on anong issues. Kasi sometimes they say, it happens a lot, they'll say, I'm afraid, and then they tap. Even though I'm afraid, or I'm afraid of this person or that event, I completely love it. And then while they're tapping, iiyak yan. It's mararamdaman nila, oh, may sense of relief.
Wow.
And then suddenly, while doing the tapping, having crying, then something else come up, like pala, because of yung previous event or previous incident, kaya sila naging takot sa, let's say, takot dun sa person. Kasi nung bata sila, naalala nila na may isang other person who is parang like them na sobrang higpit, it comes up. So you're also digging, parang nakahalungkat, ano pa yung nandun sa ilalim ng fear?
Yes.
So it comes up, and then you can, pwede mo i-address din yun. So even though I have this fear or this anxiety towards this person, I completely love and accept myself, and then you do the tapping. So this is one way of helping you, kumbaga, in ways that you feel that you're still not ready to talk. Kasi marami talagang tao, they are not. Lalo, pansin natin yan sa Asian. No, this is not only a Filipino problem. This is actually an Asian problem wherein we are not so open. Hindi tayo, kumbaga parang hindi kagaya ng mga ibang nationality, mga Amerikano, mga Europeans. So pag may issue, kinukwento nila no, pero tayong Asians, we're very parang
we keep things to ourselves.
Pigil, no, we don't even express our emotions. Yun nga, di ba, yung sinasabi nila Asians, no, lalo na Chinese, I'm a Chinese family, Ruby, or from a Chinese family, di ba? We don't really express our emotions physically. We don't see people. I've never seen my dad or my mom hug each other. I've never seen them swear. The only time I saw that was probably once or twice, but it's very rare. So, but yun nga. So these are things that we have to, kumbaga, to realize na in general, Filipinos and Asians, we don't know how to express, and that really causes a lot of mental and psychological issues kasi hindi natin na-voice out yung gusto nating sabihin.
Yes, oo. So tama po yun. Bale, Doc Homer, sabi po ng tech, paki-landscape daw po ang inyong device. Okay. Ayan. Para makita po kayo ng audience na mas maigi. Alright, so napakagaling, no? May emotional freedom technique. No? So it's just a technique where you can do process your emotions on your own if you don't feel comfortable talking to someone, no, in the absence of healthy people or safe people, no. Nakuha ko po yung
Ruby, that's very important thing to realize or to, kumbaga, ma-realize ng tao, no, healthy physically, pero psychologically, emotionally, hindi sila healthy. They are very unstable. Completely different. Pag sinabing healthy, pag sinasabi nating malusog, hindi lang sa physical, it also means na emotionally, no, psychological, yung sa isip at sa puso, stable din tayo. Kaya nating harapin ang problema na hinaharap natin.
Oo. So, yun, whole being concept, no? Whole person concept. So, hindi lang healthy physically, but also yung consciousness niya, yung pag-iisip niya. Dapat, ang tawag nga, there's a Latin term mens sana in corpore sano. Diba? A sound mind in a sound body. Yun. So, that is the essence of true health, diba? And since, Doc, diba, you're in integrative medicine, you're very familiar with how, emotions affect our physical health, di po ba?
Yeah, actually, yun nga yung sinasabi nila, no? Even before the physical ailment appears, there's always an emotional or psychological na issue. Like example, pinaka-masimple example, yung mga bata, di ba? Di ba pag natatakot sila, ano nangyayari sa kanila? Naiihi. That's a physical manifestation of an emotion. Fear will, tawag natin yung sa Chinese medicine, sa TCM, fear will weaken the kidneys. So therefore, pag natakot ka, iihi ka. So there's another way, yung mga malungkot, no, mga depressed, they found out yung malulungkot.
Oh, wow.
They develop what we call lung issues. And later on, they actually have lung cancer. Why? Again, based on Chinese medicine, if you have tinatawag na sadness or grief, ang naapektuhan lungs. So a lot of those who are depressed actually, who have a lot of grief,
Oh my.
they develop lung cancer. And that's very true. I've seen a lot of people who have lung cancer, they have grief. They have so much, kumbaga yung sama ng loob na hindi nila ma-express in a way, nagde-develop ng lung cancer even though hindi sila.
Yes.
And also yung mga magaling magalit, yung sobrang mabilis magalit, yung sobrang gigil, yung konting bagay nagagalit, will develop either colon
May rage,
or
no?
liver.
Oo.
Oo. So they also develop what we call yung anger, they develop either colon or liver
Oo.
cancer. So yung emotion has a equivalent, later on babawiin din yan sa katawan mo. So we really have to be able to address whether it's anger, it's fear, it's worry, o di ba yung worry? Saan nakikita yun? Di ba pag nag-worry kayo, di ba tawag nila nag-butterfly in the stomach, parang may kumukulo sa tiyan mo, worry. No? Nag-worry ka, so kumukulo yung tiyan. So that's also a manifestation emotional to become a physical problem. Kaya yung mag-worry, nagkakaroon sila ng ulcer or gastritis later on. No? So we have to be able to also recognize this. Marami na akong pasyenteng ganyan na pumunta na sila sa lahat ng doktor. They spent hundreds of, hindi lang thousands, hundreds of thousands of pesos. Lahat ng test pinagawa na, kulang na lang kalikutin yung ano nila, yung butas sa yung butas sa pagluha nila. Lahat ng butas na check na. Wala akong makita. Hindi ako nag-figure tear ducts, di ba? Kulang na lang, sabi ko, kulang na lang butasin yan at tingnan ang nasa loob eh. Pero if you go tanungin mo, ang issue talaga nila is more of emotional, yung worries nila, yung anxiety, depression. So we also have to recognize kung alamin na talagang may ganyan yan. And when this is all over, pag natapos na tong pandemic, pag natapos na tong problema, you will see the after effects, lalo na sa mga bata. Talagang sobra yung magiging effect sa kanila. Especially social, no? Social kasi mga bata ngayon dumalaki sa loob lang ng bahay, they never have any interaction sa ibang bata. So this is a problem that we will have to be facing very soon. And I hope, yung mga manggagamot natin, yung mga counselors natin, will be able to come up with programs to help these individuals.
Yes. Ayun, actually I mentioned na yesterday, no. Sabi nga sa Bible, hope deferred makes the heart sick. Ayun. So imagine, no, kaya nga sabi ko parang our situation is, it's like we don't see the light, no, at the end of the tunnel. So our hope is being deferred. And syempre, ang definite effect niyan for sure is all these emotional stresses, emotional problems, no, that's affecting our well-being, no, as human beings. Yun ang hindi po nakikita. So nananawagan uli kami, no, din sa IATF. Yung pagsusort po ng businesses, no, whether essential, non-essential. Like I said po kanina, man does not live by bread alone. Hindi po laging survival mode ang tao. Okay? Marami pong needs ang tao aside from food, shelter, and clothing. And kung hindi po natin nakukuha yung mga needs na yun, I'm telling you, there will be many more, magkakaroon pa ng ibang klaseng pandemic. No? Hindi lang COVID. Ang COVID, as we can see, no, nagagamot po yan. Maraming natatakot, pero sa totoo lang, nagagamot na siya at every stage, whether early stage or late stage, it's already treatable. But how about the chronic illnesses that we do not know or we haven't seen, no? That we are, yun, for sure, meron po tayong ma-anticipate na mga problema as a result of this prolonged lockdown that is affecting, no, the well-being of millions and millions of Filipinos. So we're here to encourage everybody, no, na kung may mga problems po tayo sa loob natin, no, let's be open, let's reach out, So meron pong shinare si Doc Homer na emotional freedom technique. And ano po yung Mind You? Is it a website? Ano ba yun?
You can search it. May website din yan, may FB page din yan, no? So you can get in contact with their psychologist, no?
Ayun.
So, psychologist with regards to psychological issues, no?
Yes. And yesterday, our guest speaker also shared that there is a Philippine Association of Christian Counselors. So for those na you can also reach out to Philippine Association of Christian Counselors. They can give you counseling for free. Okay? So bukod sa pangalagaan din po natin ang ating pag-iisip, no, our well-being. Kasi importante lahat itong mga bagay na to. The quality of our lives, the quality of our relationships, they all impact our overall health, no? And so, kunyari, you're bombarded with negative stress, no? Kasi may positive stress, but every day kung you're bombarded with negative stress and wala kang outlet, talagang hihina yung immune system mo, magkakaroon ka ng all these chronic illnesses as mentioned by Doc Homer, and mauuwi yan, no, syempre sa ayaw natin. Okay? And so final words po, Doc Homer, ano po yung gusto nyong ibahagi sa ating mga listeners?
Okay, so final words, no, just medyo lilihis lang tayo sa topic ng mental emotional. But gusto ko lang i-address yung issue ng ivermectin at yung nangyayari ngayon sa balita, no. Nakikita ko kasi parang sobrang ginagawa nilang negative kasi yung issues ng pagbibigay or pagre-reseta ng ivermectin. I think siguro panahon na ayusin natin to. I think yung mga doctors natin dyan, yung mga experts, no, mag-usap tayo, magsama tayo. Kasi at the end of the day, this is not about sino ang tama, sino ang mali. Kasi at the end of the day, this will be about our nation. If we will tread this, kumbaga kung lalakad tayo dito sa path na sasabihin nating mali ito, tama ito, walang katapusan. Hindi ito ay matatapos, wala tayong solusyon maipepresenta sa tao. Kung para sa kanila, yung gagaya ng ivermectin, kung para sa kanila hindi ito epektibo, hindi ito tama or bagay, okay lang sa amin. Pero ano ang iyong solusyon? Anong alternatibo mo para gumaling tayong lahat? Yun lang yun eh. Bakit importante gumaling lahat? Number one, hindi na ito tungkol sa ating ekonomiya. Hindi na ito tungkol sa ating hanap buhay. Ito ay isang national security issue. National security, imagine kung lahat tayo nagkasakit sabay-sabay. Lahat magkakalala na sakit. Saan tayo pupulutin? Dapat matandaan natin. Dapat nga palitan na natin yung model na we heal as one. This should be we fight as one, because we have to fight not only because of the pandemic, because of other external factors. Maraming bansa ang gustong akuin ang ating bansa, and that is the real reason kung bakit yung mga militar natin at yung police medyo super hyper ang attitude.
Nako, Doc. Grabe.
Diba? Naging hyper.
You said it.
Naintindihan ko yung point nila. As thinking like a police or a military, naintindihan ko kasi yung external threat nagiging mas grabe because of what is happening inside.
Yes, it's super real. Parang ang smoke and mirrors to eh. There's a bigger issue, no?
Exactly. Kaya yun nga yung point ko eh. Sana makita ng lahat, eksperto ka man o hindi, ordinaryo tao ka man o nasa gobyerno, look at the biggest picture. The biggest picture is our democracy. Ang ating bansa is under threat. It's not about COVID now. It's our security. It's our country being threatened. So sana makita ng lahat ng tao, and we really can come back as one, fight as one, because that is the only way to get out of this mess that we are in. Thank you.
Yeah. Yes, you said it, Doc Homer. That's really what's on my mind. Hindi ko lang sinasabi ngayon. But that's exactly what I see also. And so thank you so much, no, for joining me kahit the last minute. Napaka-productive po ng ating pinag-usapan kahit papano. And maraming salamat po sa lahat ng mga tagapakinig natin dito sa Flatten the Fear. Salamat once again to DZRJ for the airtime. And mabuhay po ang Pilipinas. Mabuhay po kayong lahat. Salamat po. Thank you, Doc Homer.